Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tiffany and I live in Greece. Currently, I'm coming to you from the island of Sifnos, and I'm here to talk to you about what to pack for a Greek island vacation. Now, this is particularly important if you're coming for like a 7-day trip. This is kind of the perfect amount to pack for that. If you're coming for 2 weeks, you could also use this packing sort of guide as a 2-week trip because you could just do laundry halfway through your trip. Obviously, I'm a woman, so most of the things I've packed are geared towards that, but obviously you men should be able to get a good idea of what the amount of clothes you need to bring for a trip. Let's get into what I actually packed for this trip. I'm gonna start with shorts. I packed 4 pairs of shorts. Now, sometimes on these trips I only bring 3 pairs. That's because usually I am trying to fit everything into my smallest suitcase. This trip I did not do that, so I decided to splurge and bring an extra pair of shorts. You will see that most of my shorts are linen or a linen blend. I brought 2 pairs of black shorts. They are both linen. I'm wearing currently the white pair, so you're not going to see those in this video. And then I bought another pair of cotton gray shorts. I only really wear cotton or linen. I do not recommend wearing denim to a hot location. It's extremely heavy. If you sweat in it, you're going to have to wash it. You really can't wear it like a second day, whereas with these things, if you let it air out, you can wear them a second day. If it's really bad, you can hand wash them and they're probably going to be dry by the next morning, and you just can't do that with denim. Also, this takes up a lot less space than a pair of denim shorts. Let's talk about pants. Yes, I said pants. I did bring pants on this trip because it's September and the weather can be a little bit tricky at this time of the year, and so I wanted to have the option to have something a little bit warmer in case I needed it in the evenings. The other thing I did bring was this hiking pair of pants because there are some hiking trails on this island, and while I'm not a huge hiker, I do like to go for walks, and I don't want to wear the workout clothes I bought or my shorts in case I'm really sweaty. And also sometimes in the summer months, it's really, really dry and all of the little growth brush can scratch you in shorts. So these are a good option. They're really lightweight. They're 3/4 length. So yes, I look like a dork, but I'm comfortable. The other pair of pants I brought are these lightweight, just pull on olive green pants that I wore actually on the ferry, because sometimes the ferries like to crank the air conditioning down, and unless you're wearing pants, you're going to freeze. You can sit outside, so it's an option, but sometimes the people who are sitting outside are the smokers, and so then you're surrounded by smoke. So I don't really sit outside usually for very long because of that reason. Also, the wind this trip was really intense, and while it wasn't like making us seasick or anything, I was standing outside and I felt windblown. But I definitely needed the pants for sitting inside in the air conditioning. It's also good in case it does get chilly here at night. I have an option to wear either to dinner or just to go for a walk to stay warm. Let's talk about tops. I brought 3 tank tops, 2 white tank tops. One of them is linen. You're gonna see a linen a lot. And one is this gray tank top. And then I brought a gray t-shirt and a black t-shirt. Obviously I'm wearing it. I like to bring tank tops because they're good for layering, so that way if I get too hot, I can take off the top shirt and just have the tank top. It's also good if, say, you're wearing your bathing suit and you need to throw something on over your bathing suit top. Let's say you're wearing shorts and they're nice and lightweight and they're easy to pack, and it means you can bring a little bit more and have a few more options for shirts. I did bring 2 long sleeve shirts because of the time of year that I'm here. If I was coming a little bit earlier, let's say in July and August, I would probably only bring 1 long sleeve shirt, and that would probably be what I wear on the ferry as sort of my jacket. This year I bought this beautiful black linen shirt. It's slightly oversized. I wore this on the ferry, so I wore the white tank top and then this and the green pants. And so it's nice. And it also gives me an option to wear it with shorts if I really needed to, because let's say I ate somewhere that has cool air conditioning, may not be cold outside, but sometimes, although I don't eat inside that a lot in this time of the year, but some nights you just do and you need it. Or if there's breeze, this is a good option. The other one I brought is a denim one, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's not that thick denim. So it's just another good option to have, especially at this time of year. Something I didn't bring that sometimes I do bring are scarves, particularly for the wind. So if you take either your t-shirt or your tank top and one of these and you have a scarf, you're probably good until like mid-October and you won't need anything heavier. Two other things I brought to wear are dresses. I brought a black dress, just basic black dress, and a very basic white, sort of a sundress type thing. The good thing about this sundress is I can wear it during the day as well as at night. Now, you may have noticed a theme here. All of my clothes are mix and match in terms of the color palette. All of the shirts, all of the shorts can go together. The two pairs of pants that I brought can go with anything. The dresses, yes, they're black and white, but they can go with both of the long sleeve shirts that I brought in case I need to wear them as a jacket. I do that on purpose so that way I don't have to worry about things not matching. It gives me a lot more options. And trust me, because you're on an island for such a short period of time, no one is going to notice that you're wearing the same colors over and over and over again. And that gives you a little bit more freedom with what you pack and how little that you pack. The nice thing also about the scarves that I mentioned earlier is if you wanted to bring one or two of those, you can mix those up and it may look like you're wearing an entirely different outfit. Another really good thing to do that with is jewelry. I don't bring a lot. I usually bring about 4 or 5 pairs of earrings, and that way I feel like I have some variety while I'm here. And also, not that I've ever had an issue with this here in Greece, but in some other countries I have. I never bring jewelry that is expensive or sentimental. In case something does happen to it, then I don't have to worry about it. Let's talk about swimsuits. Obviously, you're coming to Greece, you're probably gonna wanna go swimming. 2 is probably enough for a short trip. I suggest 2 in case you need to rinse them out and one doesn't get dry overnight. Sometimes that can happen because it's very humid. Usually there is a breeze and there's enough sun that it's not an issue, but sometimes you'll find your hotel isn't in the sun or the breeze isn't blowing, and sometimes they're just not dry by the next morning, so you're gonna need a second set. If you're a person who wants to swim, say twice a day, maybe once in the morning and once in the evening, you might wanna consider bringing a third swimsuit in case your 2 swimsuits from the day before aren't dry. Or if you're coming for a longer trip and you feel like it would just be nice to have a third one as an option. So the other thing that I like to bring with me as far as swim attire is a swimsuit cover-up. This way I don't get my clothes that I'm wearing every day wet, because I don't suggest that you walk around in town in just your bathing suit, especially if you're going in somewhere. If you're just walking through to get back to your hotel, that's fine, but you really shouldn't go into shops or sit at a restaurant without some kind of cover-up on. You won't see Greeks really doing this. You might if they're really young, but most Greeks are going to either change their clothes or they're going to put on a dry swimsuit and then put on some shorts at least over their swimsuit. So I like this because it's neutral, and even if I wanted to, I can wear my shorts underneath it and it comes down pretty far. It also offers some sun protection, so if you're at the beach and you feel like you're getting a little bit too much sun, you can throw this on. Something that I don't bring on every trip, but I've started working out lately, is workout clothes. I've brought 2 workout sets. I do work out more than twice in a week, but I figure I can rinse one out in the sink and then it should have time to dry by the time I work out again. This is also a good option if you want to go on a hike. I don't necessarily know if I'd wear these particular shirts that I brought with me on a hike, but if you wanted to go hiking, then you're probably going to bring something with sleeves. These don't have sleeves. But the good thing is also if it gets cool and you're really desperate, you can always put on a pair of leggings under the one pair of pants that you've brought. It's always a good idea to bring options to layer in case the weather turns, particularly if you're coming in September, October, or later, or if you're coming in the early spring. We do have winter here. It does get cool. The last, but probably one of the most important things on a Greek island holiday is that you bring a beach towel. A lot of hotels will not let you take the towels from the hotel to the beach, and honestly, a lot of the hotels in Greece have not really upgraded their towels, so they're either really small or they've been washed 100,000 times, so they're kind of scratchy at this point. I also really like this one. It's really small. It's what they call a hammam towel. Obviously, if you're coming from very far away, bringing a beach towel might be not an option because you're trying to pack lightweight. They sell these on every island. They're not expensive, and then you have a nice souvenir to go home with. And if you don't want to take it with you, then you haven't spent a lot of money on it either. They also dry really quickly, these hammam towels. So like I took this to the beach yesterday, it was dry this morning, and I didn't even leave it outside. I only brought 3 pairs of shoes for this trip. I brought a pair of sandals, like a nice pair of sandals, a pair of flip-flops, and what we Americans call sneakers in the UK. I think they call them trainers. So, running type shoes, running shoes. That's pretty much all I need. Because of the color palette I've chosen, those shoes go with everything. I really only wear the sneakers if I'm gonna work out or go for like a longer walk or a hike. And then the nice sandals I would wear in the evening. The flip-flops are what I wear to the beach or just to walk around town in. Greece is very casual. Yes, I have 2 dresses, but you don't necessarily even need those if you don't want to. If you just want to live in a t-shirt and shorts, most places that you go out to eat in are going to be fine with that. Only if you're staying in like a really nice resort, or if you want to treat yourself and your family to a really nice meal out, would you really need to get dressed up. And even then, the nice like church Sunday dress, sundress is perfectly okay. The one other thing I do want to mention here is that if you are a woman and you're visiting a church or a monastery, and I believe this even goes for men in a monastery, your knees and your shoulders possibly need to be covered. In some monasteries, they will offer shawls for you to put around your waist. So don't worry about that too much, but you might want a scarf just so you feel more comfortable going into a church with your shoulders covered. Let's say you're out in a tank top like I am a lot, then that's a nice thing to have. The other thing that I always pack in are packing cubes, not so much to save space. This is me trying to be more organized because I really hate it when I get to a place and my clothes are just everywhere in the suitcase and I can't find anything, or the swimsuit bottoms get separated from the top and then I can't find them. So I try to pack similar things, like all my shirts went into one. I think all my workout gear went into another, and then all of the shorts and the pants and the dresses went into this giant one. I will put a link to these particular packing cubes down in the description box below. There are other packing cubes that also offer more compression, so if you're trying to pack lighter, those are an option. I will put a link to those as well. I have a 4-wheel 25-inch suitcase, so it's slightly larger than a carry-on, but I really like the 4 wheels, especially for getting on and off the ferry. I don't know if they make my suitcase anymore because it's several years old, but I will find someone similar and put it down below in the description box as well. 2 things that I didn't bring that I wish I had brought, that I'm either out of practice for one of them and the other one I didn't think about. One is I like to bring a canvas bag so that way I can either take it to the beach, or if I want to go to the supermarket, I can buy my groceries that way because they do charge for plastic bag usage here in Greece. It's usually minimal. I think it's anywhere from like 5 cents to 10 cents, but also I just don't need all those plastic bags accumulating in my hotel, and then I can use it for other things. The other thing that I would mention, this is particularly for women, unless your men have longer hair, is you might want to look and see what kind of hairdryer your hotel offers, because in this particular hotel, it is something from the 80s that is attached to the wall that's just like an elephant hose is what it looks like to me. And the heat is very strong, but I guess the blowing intensity is really low. So it's taking forever for my hair to dry, and it's not really able to style it exactly like I like. It feels like it's a little bit fuzzy. I'm sure that you guys don't notice, but as you know, you notice things about yourself that other people necessarily wouldn't. I do have a small travel hairdryer that if I had looked at the pictures at the hotel, I would have said, oh, I'm probably gonna bring my own hairdryer. Obviously, if you're coming from further away, that may or may not be an option. If you're coming from somewhere that does not use the same voltage as they do here in Europe, you're going to need to buy a dual voltage hairdryer, because while you can get an adapter for the plug, the voltage is wrong. And if you try to plug in your hairdryer that's not dual voltage, you're going to probably blow not just your room's electricity, but maybe the entire hotel. So I will put a link to one that I have bought in the past from the US. The one caveat to it is that when you put it on the 220 power, it only blows at high speed. So if you have really fragile hair, it may not be the best option for you. If you're coming here for a longer period of time, you might just consider buying a cheapo hairdryer at one of the supermarkets here. They're like, I think I bought my travel hairdryer for 11 euros at the supermarket. So, and then I have the ability to switch between low and high. So those are the two things that I kind of wish that I had brought on this trip. And obviously that varies from time to time. Also, obviously I brought toiletries, underwear, bras, but those are pretty basic and are probably gonna be very specific to wherever you are. So I'm not gonna cover what I brought. The one thing that I would suggest that you do bring, unless you're coming from far and you don't want to deal with liquids, is to bring sunscreen. Sunscreen is very expensive here, but it is available. Just keep in mind that it's probably going to cost about double what it would in the United States. I don't know about the UK. I know that in the rest of Europe it's also very expensive. If you're coming to Greece and you want to buy toiletries and you don't want to buy, like, say, supermarket brand, the best place to go buy toiletries is at the pharmacy. There are two brands that are really nice. One is Epivita and the other is Corez, and they offer some really nice shampoo, conditioner, body lotions, face wash, all sorts of face treatments. So if you want to just pack for the 1 or 2 days before you can make it to a pharmacy here, then you can go and buy those, and then you have a nice souvenir to go home with that's actually useful. If you want a more printed version of this, or if you're going to Athens before, I have a whole blog post that I have written about what to pack for Greece, and that will also be linked in the description box. If you need more tips for your trip to a Greek island, you should watch the video that's coming up on the screen now. I hope this was helpful, guys, and that you'll consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.